Hello, everyone. This is Luis Concepcion from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 6, already in February, folks. So, as always, here's our disclosures. This information is intended for educational and informational purposes only. I'm not providing any investment advice. Information may not be suitable for every investor or every trader, depending on their time horizon, and past performance does not guarantee future results. And all investments and trades involve risk, including the loss of principal. Here's our agenda for the week. We're going to cover our news, we're going to cover a market overview, and go ahead and cover earnings. And we have 553 companies reporting earnings. As always, I will not cover all of these. However, I will cover about 20 companies, including the indices. Here's our week 5 results. Provided 20 zones. We went 0-1 for stocks. Options, we went 2-0 and no entry for 16, and two zones closed on Fridays, and those companies were Clorox and UPS. Even though we only went 2-0 and 0-1 here, we had big trades on the Magnificent Seven. For those of you who are looking at information I would like to get for our members that receive that weekly information, feel free to contact me via email or look at our website to see how you can get that information. So here's our week 6 earnings. Again, we have a lot of companies' earnings. I'll only be covering 20 of them, but we have a jam-packed week of companies reporting this week as well. I went ahead and I added our Clorox. To date, we're 4-4 in stock, so we should be at break even. And we're doing a lot better in options at 11-2. And I added Clorox and Amazon this week. Again, the trades that we are doing for our members on the Max 7 are not being reported here. And if you want that information, feel free to contact me. Moving on into our news, as you can see, the only thing we have affecting us is the PMI report 30 minutes into the open. So be cognizant of some volatility, maybe 30 minutes after we open on Monday. In the evening, we have the Australian dollar being affected. So for those of you who trade forex or futures, be cognizant of the Australian dollar being reported as in the evening. Moving on to Tuesday, we have nothing impacting the U.S. markets. However, for those of you who trade futures and forex, be cognizant of the Canadian dollar and New Zealand dollar being affected in the morning and midday. Nothing to report on Wednesday. And on Thursday, you can see we got unemployment claims pre-market and the Australian dollar once again being affected midday. For Friday, nothing impacting the U.S. markets, and we have the Canadian dollar being affected pre-market. So be cognizant of that for you future and forex traders. So moving into the charts, a lot happened this past week. As you can see, there's still no supply on the S&P 500. We had Meta blow earnings out of the water. The Fed said they're not raising rates in March. So, however, what does that mean for the markets? That means that we're still going to remain bullish. So be cognizant of that. Although February is a slow mover in the market, so we might just settle and stay flat throughout the month overall. And let's understand that the Fed not cutting rates in March is a bullish sentiment. Additionally, however, the minute that the Fed decides to start cutting rates, that will turn the markets lower. So be aware of that. So on the S&P 500, our zone has not changed under the demand zone. We got 47.92 to 47.14. Again, no supply in the S&P 500. Moving on to the Nasdaq, the level I have for you is 16,851 to 16,562 on the demand side. Moving on to the Dow Jones, you can see no supply on the Dow Jones either, and that first demand zone I have for you is 380.09 to 377.83. Moving on to the RUT or the IWM. As you can see, we were flat last week. We stayed in this range, and the RUT is the only one that's moving lower. And it's the weakest indice out of all the four markets. So be aware of that. We're just been sideways. So we got 1887 to 1847 on the demand side and 2069 to 2103 on the supply side. So I'm gonna start with our earnings now. The first company I'm gonna start with is McDonald's. So for McDonald's, McDonald's has no supply. And for the demand zone, we're gonna do 277.31 to 274.58. Caterpillar is the next company I'm going to discuss. No supply as well, which is obvious. The markets are all-time high, so a lot of these markets are not going to have supply. And that demand zone is going to be 292.63 to 286.19. Next company is Estee Lauder. So Estee Lauder on the demand side, I got 118.06 to 110.86. And on the supply side, 172.49 to 183.13. Next up, Eli Lilly. No supply again here. I went ahead and I was asked to put some more aggressive trades. So that's what I'm doing this week and providing that to you. And that first level is going to be 624.49 to 608.25. And the next level I have for you on demand is 587.38 to 577.36. Next company, Spotify. So for Spotify, no supply as well. And that first demand zone I have for you is 208.29 to 201.86. Next company is Fortnite. So Fortnite, first supply level I have for you in Fortnite is 73.84 to 76.11. And on the demand side, I got 45.75 to 42.10. Amgen is the next company. So on Amgen, no supply. Demand zone I have for you is 288.92 to 282.19. Moving on to Gilead. So for Gilead, on the supply side, we got 86.29 to 87.90, and on the demand side, we got 75.07 to 73.89. Moving on to Alibaba. So on the demand side, we got 68.49 to 66.53. This is a somewhat of an aggressive zone, but it's still a good zone. However, if you for more conservative folks, you got 63.79 to 56.95. And on the supply side, you got 86.22 to 88.51. Moving on to Uber. No supply in Uber. First level I have for you in Uber is 58.92 to 57.15. Next company I have for you is Roblox. So for Roblox on the demand side, we got 35.56 and 33.42. I just saw this right now. Let's put a supply level in here. The supply level is going to be 45.99 to 47.21 on Roblox. For PayPal on the demand side, you got 52.04 to 50.23, and on the supply side, 72.24 to 76.65. Moving on to Disney, Mr. Mouse. On the supply side, we got 102.01 to 103.79, and on the demand side, we got 85.04 to 83.62. Paychecks got a tight range. You can see we've just been moving sideways for quite some time now, so hopefully we break out on earnings. That first level for you I got for you on demand is 153.34 to 145.02, and on the supply side, 236.23 to 247.73. Next company is O'Reilly Auto Parts. Be cognizant this is $1,000 stock. Uh, for those of you who are subconscious when it comes to trading high stocks. But that demand zone, this has been a very strong company. 995.97 to 984.51 on the demand, no supply and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Next company I'm covering is Hershey's. Getting ready for Valentine's Day here this month. I can't believe it's February already. Demand side we got 182.07 to 171.95, and on supply side we got 207.22 to 213.91. Next company I'm covering for you is Expedia. So Expedia, no supply for you on Expedia, and that first level I have for you is 137.93 to 132.09. In the event of an overshoot on earnings, the next level I have for you is 118.26 to 110.79. Twilio is the next company I have for you. On the demand side, 148.53 to 144.22. Same thing here. In the event of overshoot, you got this next level here at 139.64 to 130.16. Aluminum. On the supply side, you got 155.93 to 162.82, and on the demand side, you got 118.12 to 109.44. I don't foresee an overshoot here. However, if you do get it, you got another zone here from 99.85 to 90.63. And the last company I have for you this week is Pepsi. So for Pepsi, you got on the demand side 158.60 to 154.91, and on the supply side 177.33 to 179.84. And that's gonna do it for us for the charts this week. As always, here's my contact information for those of you interested in taking a course or looking up to see what I have going on. Feel free to go to my website. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to email me. And for those of you who are not doing so already, go ahead and please follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn so that I can provide you updates of trades throughout the week. And when it comes to YouTube, if you're not done so already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like. And lastly, for those of you interested in receiving information about the Max 7 that I receive to our members, feel free to reach out to me or look at our website to see how to go about that information. Until next week, happy trading and have a plan.